This conference will now be recorded.
So I need to have a few machines actually. So let me get it in certain accounts. I'm having it actually.
Yeah,
So that is the
even
stuff.
even we have EKS clusters
Yeah,
and
just a
Fargate.
second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So every sessions we have one theory part. Okay.
yeah, okay,
And theory means complete discussions and sort of it. And then another one is demo part, which is basically practical.
yeah,
So some of the theory I will ignore it for time being. Okay. And theory one approach is like I'll give you one of the recordings for 20 to 30 minutes of recordings, which has only theory.
okay,
And if you have any questions, we'll have a Q&A and then conclude that.
yeah,
We'll start with the practical sessions. That way you have a more demo based and stuff like that.
yeah,
Okay, so the first question, just to set a background, what is Datadog? Okay, so I think you have got experience. Datadog is basically observability platform.
yeah,
Okay, observability platform. So now next question is what is observability? Correct.
yeah,
So this is something like a conceptual keyword has been coined from last three years, I guess, in the world of monitoring. So monitoring got migrated to observability, and it's like a conceptual keyword which you need to understand. Anyways, in short, I will talk about it now, but little bit of theoretical jargons and all I'll share with you in some time. But in short, Datadog is observability platform. So what is observability? So if someone will ask you what is observability, then you should say uh, we want to gather matrices. Okay, we
yeah,
want to gather matrices. We want to gather trace. Okay,
yeah,
and then we want to gather logs. Okay, so what is observability? So observability is a process of gathering matrices, trace, logs, and on top of that, you have alerting, and dashboard. So this
okay,
you do. Okay, so we set up a observability. That means how to set up observability. So you have to collect the matrices, traces, and logs, alerting, and dashboard. These are the five things you have to do. Now,
okay,
matrices means you are talking about the infra monitoring. Okay,
okay,
trace means here we are talking the APM. Okay,
okay,
APM and then synthetic and then rum. Okay,
okay,
and then logs means logs. I don't think so I have to tell you, but each of these we need to understand what is infrastructure monitoring. Most of you, I mean most of the time you understand, because this we are doing from last 20-30 years. Infra monitoring means CPU, RAM, hard disk, network, input output, Apache metrics, Tomcat metrics, MySQL metrics, Docker metrics. All these are infra monitoring. But
yes,
APM we need to understand, synthetic we need to understand, RAM we need to understand, and so on. So likewise, we have to get it done, and the
yeah,
logs. But here, theoretical part will keep it separate. I will start with infra monitoring, okay, where we will collect the collect the matrices. So now the
yes,
next question is how to collect matrices. Okay, so but using Datadog. Okay, so first thing what you have to do, Datadog, the step number one, you have to create a trial account. Okay, trial account which is available for 14 days. Trial account. Anyone can start the trial account. That's not a problem. So what to do? Go to Datadog here. Let me check if my last trial account is still active. If not, I have to register at the new one. So now if I see that my trial account is already active, but I want to check how many days I'm having it. So how do we get it? My license, plan in uses, and here 5 days to go. So still I can use this one, trial account. Okay. So this is the account you can start for 14 days. Anyone can start account. That's not a problem. Okay.
okay,
So just create a trial account. Now step number two, okay, step number two, the question was how to collect the matrices. Matrix means infrastructure monitoring. So then you have a Datadog. Datadog agent. Okay, now
Yeah.
this agent we need to install it. So create a trial account and install the Datadog agent. And this Datadog agent, fundamentally, it will enable few monitoring, which includes CPU by default, RAM, storage, disk, and networking. So these are the fundamentally it will be enabled, but we should enable the process monitoring also. I'll teach you, and few more also. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now first of all, how do we collect the how do we install the agent? So let me create a machine, so which is I'm having it right now. This machine I'm going to use it, and I'm starting it. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Recently, I did set up one agent on the server. So we faced one issue like in the server there was NTP error was there. So for that reason, it is not displaying in the Datadog environment because the time
yeah,
zone has
you have
uh,
to sync
kept.
that to
Yeah,
overcome this issues. You have to sync that. In
yeah,
Windows,
yeah,
I think you did it right.
yeah. So
In
if it is
in
not in
Windows,
sync,
this problem is there.
yeah,
Okay, so here sudo -s. So now I have to install the Windows agent, so Linux agent. So how do I do that? So here I will go to uh, you know integration. This is the part. Remember
yeah,
integration, and click on the agent. Okay, and here you see that you can install the agent for Mac, Windows, Debian, Ubuntu,
yeah.
Amazon Linux, and different variant. So now if you see that here, there's so many options are there. Let me discuss actually a little bit of it.
Mm,
So here, uh, look at this. These are operating system. So here, these are the operating system, and these are the containers platform. Okay,
yes.
and these are the config management tools. So these are the agent you can install in this operating system. If you want to install the agent in the containers, then you can follow this one, like a Docker, Kubernetes, and OpenShift. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want to install agent in hundreds of servers, multiple servers,
Mm-hmm.
then Datadog has provided a chef cookbooks, Puppet modules, Ansible rule, Salt modules. So all this code has been given. So using this code, you can deploy the agent to hundreds of machines also. So that
Okay.
is there. So here I'll click on the Ubuntu and select the keys. I am having one key already, two key in fact. And now this is the code which I need to run it. Here you have a key. This is my Datadog 1 agent, I mean region 1, and this is a web script. So just copy this one and run this. That's all. Enter. So now agent will be installed by the script. Automatically they'll detect that which operating system you have, and then automatically they will install it. Now you will say, Rajesh, do we have any step-by-step guide? So yes, I am having it step-by-step guide which can help you. So what you have to do here, Datadog agent Linux. So let me share with you.
The only
This
thing
is the
is
one.
it is hard coded. So how can we know the version of that? I mean, so you ran the S3 bucket script. So
Yeah, one by one we'll go for that. So right now we'll go for the normal setup, then we'll go for the specific one. Okay.
yeah,
So here you see step number one, register a Datadog, select the Ubuntu and run this command. Don't run this command blindly. Do not run this command because you have to take the command from the Datadog site. And then these are the commands you have to practice it. Okay, so what is this command will start, stop, restart, check the status, logs file, you will find it here. This is the configuration file. Again, these are the logs file, and then few checks you have to always run these commands. If you remember, it will be good. So config check, config health, host name, version, and all. So very useful for it. So now
yeah,
if I see that this has been done, now you want to check the Datadog is running or not. So status. Yes, so now it's running. Now you should practice these commands, all these commands. Let's say you want to see the Datadog logs. So clear the screen, and here you have a, these are the logs: agent log, process agent log, trace agent. Look at this, this will help you. Now these are the configuration files. So you spend some time, 10-15 minutes again to understand this configuration. So anything you want to change in the Datadog agent behavior, then you have to change the configuration file for for this. So this is a important file. You have to only work on this file with seriousness. So right now, if you see that here key is there and site is there. This is US region 1 and site, and many other options also there, but for time being it's more than sufficient. Log files, you see that here, which is enabled, config check. So config check will he'll help you to check your configuration which is enabled. So here NTP is enabled, network is enabled, memory check is enabled, some CPU load is enabled, load, how much load you have it, input output, file handling, disk, and CPU. So these are the things which is enabled by default. You want to check the configuration, datadog.yaml, which is got loaded. So this command is useful for see that summary of it. So this is the datadog.yaml file only, but this command will give you the summary which you have enabled, disabled, which got default and all. You want to check the health of the agent, so this command will help you. Right now 15 healthy components and everything is passing, and host name, version, and this is a very important command. You should check the live status of your agent. So every configuration which is running in the agent, you can see it here. Okay, so this is the way you can check this and start working on the agent. Now if I go and check my here, go to the infrastructure, here infrastructure list, and you see this is the machine. Click on it here, and all the matrices you will see that. So right now containers are not there, process I have not enabled it, networks is not there, logs also have not enabled, trace also are not enabled, but matrices means infrastructure, you are getting it here. You can see in the larger picture also, here it is. Okay, so started coming from last 15 minutes, and all this thing you have it. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is
So
something which you have. So now you are doing what? You are doing infrastructure monitoring. So what you got it through agent. These are the things
yeah,
you got it.
yeah,
Any questions so far?
yeah. I have seen one system probe. I'm not sure for what it is. Is that for traces or is that for NPM monitoring? Is there any
Where you saw
additional
that?
in the system only? There is system probe agent is also there along with it. I'm not sure what we use it for.
Okay, so you're saying that executable, this one, right?
Not that.
Grep
Systemctl
data.
status Datadog agent
Data.
dot data
Yeah. So
agents system
here you're
probe.
talking about process agent, and this is the agent, and this is
Yeah.
the trace agent. So three
Okay.
component will be running here. So
Okay.
you see that under this location, go to the bin locations, ls agent. So these are the utility which you have, agent, and which will run actually. So bin age trace agent you have here. There's a trace agent here also. So check this.
Okay.
So like this. These all components are is a part of the embedded Datadog agent got installed. So here few utilities are there, which is internally agent is using actually.
Okay.
Okay, so now this is how you install the Linux agent. Same process you follow for all the variant of Linux. So now if you see that here, now we have enabled the infrastructure, but process is not enabled. So what do we do in this case? So in order to enable the process monitoring, what you need to do, you need to modify the datadog.yaml file. Okay, so how do we do that? So let me show you. etc datadog agent datadog.yaml file. So any modifications you make, you have to make this configuration file, very important file. Okay, and then here you want to do that process config. So process underscore config, enter, and see here process collections configurations. So now this is disabled. You see three options. This is disabled, so we have to enable it. So can I do that? So here what you have to do, you have to give the zero space, uh, remember that zero space, and here you have to give the 2 space is the YAML file, and here you have to give 4 space. So done, and make it false to true, and 0, 2, and false. Now you might forget this step, so for that I have documented it. Let me share with you. So here you come here and type datadog process, datadog process, and in this here you see how to enable live process monitoring. So first thing you have to 0 space, 2 space, and 4 space, and you have to make it like this. Now this I have given a screenshot also below side, so which will help you. In Windows also same process you have to do, the only the location is change actually. So that's the next question, how to uh, you know how to enable datadog, I mean process monitoring main Windows, sorry, Linux agent. Linux or Windows agent, it's the same thing. Agent, and this is the tutorial. I'll share with you. So now what to do? So save it and then restart the agent. Systemctl restart datadog hyphen agent. So you restart it. There's some command which you should use it to verify. For example, you did the restart. Now you can check the status, and here is running, and then after that you have to run this command which will help you to find out whether process is enabled or not. So you see that process enabled true, so that is good. So this command you have to remember that to verify in configurations. Okay, so likewise you can check this, and finally it's enabled from here side, this side, no problem. Now you go to process tab. We have to wait for a few minutes. Okay, and then here you get it. So all the process earlier it was not coming, now it is coming. Did you understand that?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. So now something similar. So you got the infrastructure monitoring enabled. Now you got the process monitoring enabled. Network will have to enable it as some different process. So likewise. Now how do we go ahead with Windows machines? So Windows machines also you have to have one Windows agent. For example, I'll tell you. So go to the infrastructure agent, and here Windows will be much easier for you. So here you have two options. Either you want the UI, so follow this one, interactive we call it, and if you want the automation, then follow this one. So what you're going to do, open your command prompt in admin mode. Okay, first you download the installer in the step 1 and step 2, both the way, and then open a command prompt with the admin or PowerShell with admin. And if you want to install through this, then run this command or PowerShell. So this is unattended, that means command line. But if you want to do that through UI, so download this installer, MSI will be there, and then click next, next, next. You have to feed this key. So you have to select this key, and this key and region, two things you have to select. So this key is you have to select, and then region. My region is US one, and then finish it off. So now this one, let me share with you the screenshot, because Windows machines, you can do it easily. So Datadog, Windows machines. So this is the one. So here title is this one, and you can follow. The only difference which you have to locate it, the see this is the step. After this, when you click on MSI, you get like this, feed the API, and select the region. You go for the US1 region, and then Windows, we have a launch agent manager, which is a UI actually, which will open on the 5002 ports. So UI means browser, localhost 5002 ports. Using UI in Windows, you can work with the agent. So log settings, all this thing, you can see that. Now processes, you have this one, process agent, trace agent, and all, and you can start also. Now the most important thing, you will not face any problem in the Windows, but the only thing you have to remember that uh, datadog.yaml file will be located in the C programs data. That you must remember. Look at this path: C programs data, data directory, and here is your datadog.yaml file. So in a Linux, it's under the etc, and then Windows, C programs data and Datadog. So that's the only difference you will have between Windows and Linux. The path is changes. Rest of the things in Windows you must be comfortable. Any questions on this?
Yeah. How to check agent version in Linux?
Yeah. So you just write datadog -agent. That's a command line, and just type version. So right now it's 7.41 or 49, which is the latest one actually. And this is written in Golang actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So now,
uh,
yeah, tell me.
yeah. So if I want to go for n minus version, it is already hard coded, right? As in S3 script. So if I want to go n minus one version, how to? I mean,
Huh. So if you want to deploy the older version, let's say, correct now? Correct?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So in that case, you have to work with a little bit of scripting, and let me show you this one. So the theory would be like this. This is your script location, which is in
yeah,
S3. Okay.
yeah.
So you open this one, and here you should set all this stuff. So which agent version you want to install. So you have to go through this script and modify. For example, I'm just checking whether is a latest. So somewhere it will be version of it. So there you have to influence this script. So many locations are there. So some top here, and see here, yeah, agent major version. So here you have to change this. So now where is that path? So this seems to be command line. So let me check that command line first. So I will go to, and let me check. So here, this is the instrumentation host bash, and this is 7. So what is a major version is taking? So let me check this agent major version, which is here, called is happening here, and here. So somewhere is being called actually. So
Yeah.
okay. So here, yeah, got it. It's taking from the command line only. I was doubting. See here, this is the major version.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they are taking from that URL in code. You are taking from there only. And yeah. So if you have a different requirement, let's say 6, let me check that. If they have a 6 also. Yep, they have a 6. That means 5 also should be there. 5 anyways is written in Python. We don't use actually. So 6 and 7, you can use it. So 5 is not there, but you can get it from their website or something. Got it?
Yeah.
So major version, typically you should go for it. Minor version is not making any sense because minor version is having bug fixes. So you should always go to the latest in terms of minor version.
I mean, like where we got a situation like it's a 7.49, right? So something 7.46. I mean, in the major version only, but a little bit of lower. I mean, four instead of 4.9, we'll go for 4.6, something like that.
Huh.
It's not.
So what? So you can do this hard coding also. No, this is the variable. It's a shell script. Okay. So you
Mhm.
can do hard coding also. Remove this variable $da da da, and then hard code whichever you want. That is easier.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to major version, I think will not hard coding. You have to do minor version. Let me check the variables. Hold on a second. Uh, minor, yeah, minor version is also there. You can hard code this. On top only you can set this. So
Yeah.
this script you can change it. Okay, so now after this one, now next thing you want to do is how to collect matrices. This is matrices from Docker. Okay, so this, see, by default now many things is being covered. For example, here, then we enable the process monitoring, which was modifying the datadog.yaml file. But how do we collect the matrices from Docker, or let's say tomorrow Apache, Tomcat, Kubernetes, all these things? So basically, this is where integrations is needed. Integration, that means you have to enable manually. Okay, manually enable a requirement is there for that. So how do we do that? So let me put it in a steps. First, install the Docker. So do we have a Docker here? So it's not there. See, it's not there. So what I'll do, I'll just install the Docker. So install Docker Ubuntu DevOps School. So for most of the scenario, I try to document it. So this will help you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So first thing here, install the Docker. How to install Docker in Ubuntu. Okay. So this I will follow. So let me do that. So this command is already there. I'm installing the Docker, and this is one command, and this is one command, carefully, and this is one command. Okay, enter. Now this is a one command, update, and final command is this one. You should read all the documents, get comfortable with it, and slowly you get it. So here, done. Sorry, enter. So here I install the Docker. Okay, so that's the first step you have to do, install the Docker. After that, you have to enable integration at Datadog website. Datadog website. How do we do that? And third thing, configure integrations. Configure integrations at Datadog website. So these two things, how to do that? So go to the Datadog website and go to the integration, click on it, and search for Docker. Okay, search for Docker. And now here you see Docker is there. So now right now for me it's enabled, because here the place where I'm hovering it, you will have a enable integrations, because I did it already. It's my old account. So it's said uninstall. Uninstall means you are disabling the integration, but I don't want to disable it because anyways enabled. So this is done. Okay, now after that I have to configure it. So what to do? So under this you should read all these pages. These are the matrices you get it, and this is the configuration detail. So now here
So
first thing,
yeah.
yeah, tell me.
So just by installing the configuration, is that not enough? Why this integration is required? I mean,
Ha.
what is the
So
difference?
theory of Docker Datadog is uh, if you want any data, then enable it. If you don't want, don't enable it. Unnecessarily, why to put lots of load enabling every configuration in Datadog? That is the theory behind it. So that's the reason you have to enable based on your requirement. Let's say I need a Docker information right now, Docker matrices. So I'm going to enable it, and they have given you the guide also to do that. If you don't want, don't enable it. Simple. Got it? Because
That
there are more than
agent itself,
600, there's a more than
is,
650 integrations are available at Datadog.
yeah. I mean, the agent itself will give the matrices to the Datadog when you configure the agent on that Docker. But this integration, I mean, how it differs? I mean,
So integration means, see, agent by default captures certain data, which is called
okay,
data collections. So by default, it collect the CPU, RAM, disk, network. Now after that, the agent don't collect any data. Why? The reason is if it is start collecting all kind of data which you may not need it actually. So here the thing is Datadog is saying, hey, if you need certain data, just go and enable it and then use it. And if you don't need data, we will not consume your CPU and RAM unnecessarily checking your processes and stuff like that. So that is the fundamental of Datadog.
Okay.
So here what I'm doing, Datadog was not enabled. So what to do? So first I install the Docker, which is here in my machine. You see now Docker is installed. Now I want to monitor the container. See here, Docker is installed. I want to monitor the container, but Datadog agent is not enabled. So what to do? So first you have to do this enablement. So you have to go and click here, enable, which is done. Now after that you have to configure it. So how do you configure? So do you have a agent installed? Yes. Now this command will help DT agent user to be part of the group called Docker. So now what is a DD agent user? So DD agent user is the one which is running your Datadog process. Datadog process, see here. So DD agent. Okay. So now this is the command I will run in my machines. Done. And finally, these changes you have to do. Now these changes you have to remember all the time. Any integration you want to enable, you have to go to one location, which is cd etc datadog con.a. So remember that any integrations you have to enable, you have to come to this directory. Okay, please remember that. And inside that this directory, all the integration will be in the form of .d. So directory name .d. You see here, you can create a custom integration also, but right now it's not needed. So now because I came for the collecting the Datadog, Docker. So go to the docker.d. See here, and docker.d, you will have a YAML file which is commented. So it's not active. That means agent by default read all the docker d file and read all the YAML file. So whichever you enable, agent will collect the data. So right now it's not enabled. What to do? cp copy to and remove the YAML file. That's all. And then this is the file. You have to check that if settings are good or not. So now these settings you have to, if you want to deep dive into the integrations, you have to look at this file. Okay, but right now not needed. Just follow this tutorial. So here I modify this file under the con.d docker.d, and here I will go to under the instances and carefully copy this line. Okay, copy under the instances, go and space, done. So this is done. So based on their instruction, we are done. And then restart the agent. So copy this one, systemctl restart datadog -agent. Now I am going to check that agent is there installed, enabled or not. So Datadog agent status. Now here go a little bit slow now because lots of inputs are there. I want to see Docker is enabled or not. So somewhere see NTPC Docker is okay. This okay is important. That means enabled. So Docker is enabled. Now we'll say, Rajesh, I need some steps. I might forget this demo. So recordings anyways is there, but I have documented it. This one also. So Datadog Docker. Okay. So here this will help you to enable the Docker monitoring. So see here the first thing, a prerequisite install Docker infra agent. Then enable the process monitoring, mind it. Then install the Docker. Then enable the Docker integration Datadog image are there. And then finally, you made these changes in the YAML file. Just now I did in front of you. Likewise, this one. And then finally, you check the config check Docker. These are the commands you have to check. And these are the commands you have to check. And then which I have checked already. And then finally, create a few containers in the machines. So I'm creating a containers, one containers, two containers, and three containers. Okay, done. Now three containers just for the demo, and then we can check this at Datadog website. So let me go there and go to the infrastructure list and go to here. Do I have a three containers now? So metrics is enabled. I showed you through the agent process. I made the changes in datadog.yaml and just now integrate the Docker. So now it is not there. Just wait for a few seconds and it should come. So now here you see that I'll refresh this one. Okay, so containers still not there. You can also check that here containers. So same, if it is coming here, there will come, and see now 3 containers are come. Now we can go and check over there also. It will come here. See 3 containers. So each container you can check that complete details of CPU, RAM utilization, network, input, output, and all. So this is something which you can check it out. Understood now?
Yeah. So yeah, I got it. So if it is integrated by default, some metrics will, I mean, what are pre-designed metrics will come here.
Yes,
If it is only agent is installed, we cannot get all those matrices. Okay.
that's correct.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so what we did today, I say slowly what we are trying to do. So if you go to the infrastructure monitoring, we are trying to create observability. So here we got this matrices, infra monitoring, containers, processes. Now, one by one, we'll go a little bit more integration world. So we'll not move to logs and traces now. We'll go to integration world like Apache, Tomcat, MySQL, Kubernetes, and all. So these 4 integrations we'll do then next session. Okay. Any questions so far?
Uh,